So we're gonna try to see what steam will do. I got some of this Owens Corning, about 1 inch thick foam insulation. What I'm gonna do is make a box out of this so that I can attach the hose of the steamer, the head and hose of the steamer to it, and this box will keep the steam in a larger area than just the little head. Did a little bit of research and I found this steamer online. Found it off Amazon. We'll have a link in the description below. It holds about, it says 70 ounces, which is a little over a half gallon. And this just screws onto here. The setup of this looked super easy. And so I'll tape that up. We'll see how well the tape holds, but if nothing else, this is just to help trap the steam. All right, so we'll turn the steam on here. I can start to hear it now. We'll probably do 5 minutes. Just let it heat up this section and see what happens. See if it does anything or if we have to go longer. It's been 5 minutes. This corner is kind of coming apart. The tape is not wanting to hold, which probably was foreseeable, but this is just proof of concept, see if it works. Let's get some gloves, because this is a little toasty. Whoa, check that out. You can see what that's done to the paint. So now while that side cooks, we'll just go ahead and scrape a little. Wow, look at that. Just comes up in a sheet. Well, that's pretty amazing. And that's even doing better than the first time we tried it with just the handle. It's getting down to the original finish on the doors. Oh, this is the way to go. There's just no doubt. Because while I'm scraping this side, that side's cooking. This is just a massive tape right now. I think the perfect thing would be is if you had like HVAC ductwork, make a thin box out of that, and it would hold its shape. It would be heat resistant. It'd be a little hot to the touch, but all you're doing is trying to trap the steam. And so I'm gonna put this back over on this side. It's coming along. There's a fine line between when you first take off the steamer cover and when you start scraping, because it's so hot at the outset when you take the cover off that the paint is very mushy. And then if you let it set up just a little bit, cool a little tiny bit, then it's easier to pop it off the paint because it's a little more brittle, it's a little more stiff. But then when it cools too far, then it just quits wanting to come up. So it's a learning process. Well, it's halfway done with one side-ish. And there's the mess right there. I want to try to improve on yesterday's design. What I have here is a piece of scrap ductwork. And the beauty of this stuff is you can put an edge to it like this, and it's very thin, and yet this stuff's pretty stiff as well. And so I'm going to make a small but very shallow box with bent edges like this, and then attach the hose to the top of this, and then use this as maybe a new and improved device, and we'll see how it works. We found this online, and we'll have a link in the description below if you're interested. It's a scraper with all kinds of different blades and different contours. That's a round one with a point, and this is a short one, several straight edges. That one's a little more concave on either end, and this has a shorter or a more shallow round end. And so what we're going to do is use these to try to get in these areas right here and scrape this out without harming the actual shape of it. So we'll give it a shot and see how it works out. The way it works is got that hand right there and T-shaped fastener, and when you pull the handle down, it pulls this down onto the blade. And I think we're going to go with this one here. Yeah, that one looks really good as far as the profile goes. And then we can come back on this side and do that. That should work well. So this is pretty simple. You just put it through the hole, then spin it this way, and that little button right there, the little post, will anchor right in that hole. And then the other side, two buttons, put it on here, and then they both go in. Now we'll fasten this down, and as we fasten that, pull the handle down. I'm going to flip it around. Let's flip it around here and see what happens. Lock it in. Okay. That should do it. All right, so it's about 5 minutes. It's a little toasty. Okay. Move this over a little. All right, let's try our scraper here and see how this did. Oh, nice. Look at that. Beautiful. The next portion is getting melted. Oopsie. Well, that tape didn't last long, did it? Well, we'll have to go to plan B on that one. Okay, so after I had the steamer on here, the first layer of paint came off, but it leaves just this little bit of early coat of paint. And rather than trying to do this, you're going to take this blade and scraping it. It's pretty slow. This blade is a little bit sharper, and I can put a little more pressure on it. And so just following the grain of the wood, it helps take this off. It really did rough that up, but that's all going to sand away, and I'll be fine. But it's just one of those things where if I wait a little more time, I did this side and didn't have any of that. Probably better let it dry a little bit. But again, these blades are so much nicer to be able to get the job progressively done. Here, these are the two blades I use the most. This one goes in like that, and it really fits well in that groove. And then this one can come in and do the bottom side. So I just flip the blade around, and I can get that bottom edge down there. And this one here is a little too wide for this area, so then I just go in at an angle and scrape it that way. So there are multiple blades for your opposite curves, and I haven't needed those, but basically all you need to do is find which curve or which particular blade you need, and then use those and speed the job along. Okay, so the one thing that's really helped kind of perfect the process here is to put like socks or a cloth around the edges. That does trap the heat, and those socks get pretty hot, so they're heating up the paint below as well. But that's really doing a good job of capturing the heat. And then of course I had to remake that connection to the pan. I did it all in metal with, again, sock wrapped around the actual head of the hose, because the tape just wasn't doing the job. So built that up, and yeah, the socks make all the difference. As you can see, it really does quite a number on the paint. And then the next best thing is this scraper. You got to have something like that, especially to get in here, to get those rounded curves. They're just so much more easy to clean out, with that tool. case you ever do something like this, those are some winning tools right there. Hope this video helps. Got anything out of it? Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.